Hello and welcome back to Nonsense Review. Once again today we are doing a bonus episode for y'all because we just love doing this so much, isn't that right, Rick?
Oh, absolutely. This is one that we suggested very early on in the production schedule. A comparison between old and new.
So to sum things up, because you guys may have already noticed that these bonus episodes are a bit weird. Essentially, when we decided to do the idea, we were just like, well, what should we do for bonus episodes? Because there's got to be some kind of linking theme. And it's like, sod it. Why don't we make the linking theme be it's all experimental ideas that we sort of have. Like, we're not sure if it's good. It's probably going to be very hit and miss, but it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of crack.
Yeah, so a lot of the ones that were on the table for this idea were far too long for a bonus episode, but we settled on one that was going to be suitable, and ideally, we hope that you'll enjoy it, because this is going to be near and dear to some people's hearts. To some other people, it'll be completely over the radar, under the radar, around the radar, sod the radar, basically.
Well, let's tell it how it is as well. It's also British as fuck.
Oh, it definitely is.
Got Del Boy as the main character in the old school one. Like...
Yeah, he is.
Anyway, before we get on with the actual bulk meat of the podcast, we introduced a new segment to our bonus episodes. Do you remember what it was called, Rick?
Oh, it was the Nonsense Asinine Hypotheticals.
I think we're going to be adding a word every time we say it.
We might be doing so, yeah.
But yes, my question for you this episode, Rick, is a nice and simple one, and kind of related to what I was talking to you while I was waiting for the podcast space to be free. As you may or may not remember, I did a little bit of D&D prep before we met today. So my question is thus: out of the vanilla D&D classes, which is your favourite? Whether it be that, let's say lore-wise rather than stat-wise.
Okay, so lore-wise, I think it's probably Warlock, because it's the one way to actually play a villainous kind of class as a hero.
Okay.
In terms of the baggage, I'd say that Pally is the one, because I used to really hate Pally, but the moment that they took away the necessity of being tied to a god or something, that made me want to look into the gods and actually care about the lore and things like that.
I see where you're coming from. I've never actually played a paladin. Like shit, I've barely played a cleric. I'm rather boring when it comes to D&D characters. That's why I tend to DM.
My question for you is also there's a little something related to what we were talking about earlier. What's your favourite bullshit off-brand name?
Oh, that's tricky, that is.
I know, right?
Okay, I've got one. When I was younger and poorer, I'm not rich by the way now, guys, but I'm less poor than I was, because I can work now. Shock at that. My parents I still love Dr. Pepper, love the fuck out of it. My parents couldn't afford to buy Dr. Pepper every week, because it was a luxury, let's be honest. So they used to get me the occasional bottle of Dr. Pop.
Ah, yes.
I can't remember which store it was. I want to say it was Sainsbury's or even Safeways, because this is how long ago it was. Off-brand of Dr. Pepper. It didn't taste anything like Dr. Pepper, because it had Doctor in the name, then it must be close enough, right?
I'm doing the thing where I'm nodding, because I vaguely remember it.
It's not, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. It tasted nothing like the product it was taking the piss out of, but I wouldn't say a respectful child, but like I understood enough to be like not ungrateful that I even got Pop.
Yeah. Good old brown sugar water.
Oh, that's the most... You went for the grossest way you could word it. You're not wrong. But yes, do you want to introduce the bulk of the podcast?
Okay, so this is something that I was introduced to it by a colouring book that I found at a charity shop when I was 5, and this is Danger Mouse. So this is something that was popular in the 80s and was rerun in the 90s when I came online and had consciousness. And very recently they did a reboot. I say very recently, in the past few years at least.
Dude, according to Netflix, 2016.
Okay, that's recently enough for old people like myself.
But 5 years.
Yeah, but I think it's still going.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm not going to argue because I don't know.
Well, if they missed last year, then there's a very, very real reason for it. It's the one word that we can't say on YouTube, otherwise we get mucked around by the algorithm.
I don't think that's accurate, but go on. Maybe if we put it in the podcast title or the description, sure, but why the fuck would I do that?
Yeah, the Heineken virus, let's call it that.
Okay. But yeah, today we're watching Danger Mouse, or rather, we're comparing the two.
Yep, we absolutely are. And we're going to jump straight in for ease of comparison at episode 2, because that's when you're expected to know about the characters, but it's also early enough in the run that there might be teething troubles, and you might see them, but also the characters are already kind of established by this point, so we thought it would be good, a fairness ratio.
Oh, yeah. Rick wanted to cherry-pick episodes that were near and dear to his heart, isn't that right, Rick?
Well, I kind of... I've only ever watched one episode of the new one, and it's the one with the American Danger Rat. I can't even remember her actual actual name. It's something like Agent Chaos or something, which sounds like a villain name, but she's basically just an American grey danger mouse who's a lady. And
I see what you're saying. You're saying she's furry bait.
yeah, well, not even. She's cartoon shaped. They start off butting heads, and okay, she's Minnie Mouse shaped, not Jessica Rabbit shaped.
I know enough people who want to fuck Minnie Mouse. That's the problem. Yeah, let that sink in. Do you want to count us in, Rick, with that cheerful note?
Yep, season 1, episode 2. Who stole the bagpipes? So 3, 2, 1, and go.
And I'm playing.
Yep. Good old Thames TV.
Fuck me! I've not seen this logo in like 1,000 years.
Yep. So it's a good old 80s opening credits where they tell you how the protagonist is the best and the best and the best and the best.
Mm-hmm.
Danger Mouse.
I've always, I don't know about you, Rick, but I've always been fond of the old over-the-top stylized cartoon bomb.
Yeah. It's one that you've never seen in real life.
No. Like the closest is like oh, go on.
I was going to say the closest I've ever got to seeing it in real life is seeing it in The Incredibles.
Well, that doesn't count.
I know, right?
The closest I've seen is when gunpowder was a thing in ancient China, because hey, that's one of my things.
Yeah.
They used to load up clay balls that were sort of vaguely that shape.
Probably where it came from.
Like literally, they would lob them and they'd explode because it was a makeshift bomb.
Okay, so it looks like the bagpipes are wild creatures.
Great. Oh shit, that's horrifying. Oh, Mayfair, they can get fucked then, can't they? I didn't know Baker Street was in Mayfair.
Well.
It might be nearby, but they just said that a call goes to Mayfair and then they zoomed in on Baker Street. It's like, what the fuck?
Yep.
In case you're not sure, Baker Street is where Sherlock Holmes lives, by the way.
I think that's basically the joke.
Maybe so. But like Disney did the same fucking joke with Basil.
Yeah.
Which I think they did better because that was a straight up just Sherlock Holmes parody at the end of the day.
Yeah. I do love how the Dangermobile is essentially just a yellow Batmobile.
I think they'd... Wouldn't it have been great if it was a Reliant Robin?
It would have been. That's actually a good joke. Rustling bagpipes. Rustling 'em, sir? I thought you had to blow 'em.
So that's the big villain, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it's the main villain. I think there are others, but like, when in doubt, it's Baron Greenbeck.
That's fair. Sounds like David Jason's also the narrator, yeah?
I think he is, yeah.
Oh, they're all Cockneys. That's what the joke is with the fucking gang. Because common Cockneys are all thieves, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Bastards.
That's why they got Northerners flat caps on as well.
They want to hide their Cockney pride. Oh, except for that fuck who is Spanish.
Sí, barone.
Oh, is there any worse, more grating noise than bagpipes?
I mean...
Sorry, Scots, I don't like bagpipe. Like, it's weird, because bagpipes can be very inspiring and very cool, make very cool music. But when you hear the generic fucking... It's fucking awful.
Yeah, the generic drone. Like doing 2-finger push-ups on his... Oh, 1-finger push-ups.
It's not even a push-up, really. I don't know what that is.
It's like a handstand push-up.
No one does that. Man, Danger Mouse was before its time, because back then, heroes were meant to be pumping iron and lifting big weights, not being spry and fucking You know, in out, in out.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a dexterity hero.
Mm.
And he's almost always putting Penfold at ease, because Penfold is... I forgot that his cat was a caterpillar.
Do you know what? I didn't even twig. It just looked like a weird fucking... Like one of the Amalganons from Undertale. I'm pretty sure I fucked up that word, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, the amalgamates, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Amalgadon is a Hearthstone card.
Let's not get into that, eh, Rick? You fucking nerd.
Which is why I was surprised that you brought it up.
Well, I didn't bring it up. I just fucked up the word.
It's fine.
Yeah, bastard.
Now here goes the fake Loch Ness monster.
Man, that's some real dramatic music too. That looked like a fucking Japan scene.
Yeah. The Ghibli of London.
No need to go to Japan. Just go to Scotland. It's the same thing, right? I mean, the people don't speak English there either. I'm sorry. That was rude. Why spoil the plot, you fuck?
Because it's an 11-minute episode.
Ah, fair enough. It's not that high, Mouse. He's also an owl.
Yeah.
He can fly.
I think he might be flight impaired since he's wearing a sweater. Okay, so it's a really weird thing to bring up, but I actually really appreciate the perspective of when you see DM from behind, and it's like his ears are both pointing backwards.
I honestly did. I get what you're saying, but I didn't see it because I wasn't paying as much attention to your to the cartoon.
Naked vultures.
Damn. Oh yeah, okay, that is quite the dastardly plot, isn't it?
Oh boy.
This is some King K. Rool shit.
Yep. They probably get on pretty well.
King K. Rool is definitely more intimidating.
True. But yeah, collects all of the wild bagpipes. Bagpipes? Bagpipes. And oh, Penfold's in a permanent state of shushness.
I want him to not talk for the rest of the episode. Well, that was a fucking lie.
Oh, yeah.
Is this caterpillar called Nero?
I think it is, yeah.
Weirdly classy name.
Hmm.
Dude, the design of this dude does emanate fucking Cockney crime boss.
Or generic Bond villain.
Which was also probably a Cockney crime boss.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't. You know me. I don't give a fuck about James Bond. I've not sat through a movie because I'm not interested in spy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen the clip of 006 when he was played by Sean Bean. There's a few actors, folks, by the way, who I just adore, and straight up, like, if they're in something, I'll watch it because they're that good. Sean Bean, Mads Mikkelsen, and there's some other guy whose name escapes me right at this moment because I'm not currently thinking about them. But you know.
Oh, Penfold's allergic to falling bridges.
It's like Jeremy Clarkson whenever he says he's allergic to work, and it's like, shut the fuck up, you prick.
But yeah, the one with Sean Bean, it was the first one with Pierce Brosnan, and it was the first Bond film that released while I was, semi-conscious, as far as I'm aware.
Yep, I get you.
Yeah, I was like 10 or 11 or something. Oh.
Fuck off.
I know, right?
Do you ever get the backstory onto why he's missing an eye, or is it literally just for coolness factor?
I don't know if he is missing an eye. I think he's actually got one underneath, and he's just it's triangulating.
How did that happen?
It triangulated around the mountain range,
So
back into the device. So,
well, here's the problem I have now with this episode. In that entire episode, Danger Mouse didn't need to be involved.
correct.
That's it's not stupid. It's fine, but it's something I hate.
A self-disposing villain.
Well, it's like everyone always brings up Indiana Jones, the one with the Nazi. Well, I think they all have Nazis in. Actually, I can't remember. Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think, is the one I'm speaking of, where they get to the Ark of the Covenant and he opens it up and he dies, and it's like, cool. Indiana Jones could have not been involved, and that would have happened anyway.
Yep.
I don't like Indiana Jones either, by the way. David Jason, Terry Scott, Edward Kelsey, and Brian Truman. 4 voices in the entire fucking episode.
Yep.
I'm not watching the next episode. I'm going to back out. Sorry, you're going to hear me clicking as I set up the next episode, guys. But yeah, what did you think?
I liked it. It was a nice bit of camp old fun that was poking fun at camp old spy stuff. So by this point, a lot of the old James Bond was already old by that point. So they were able to poke fun at that very easily. Like the car, it looks a bit dated by modern standards, but by that yardstick, it was a weird mix of the cutting edge of cool and also kind of dated and, by design.
Oh, I get you.
So it's a cool little combination of the two.
Ah, fair enough. I mean...
How about you?
It's one of those weird ones where, watching that on its own now from 2021, it was shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you
a little bit.
But if you take that away, you've got to remember it's a classic British cartoon, and the art style is something I've not seen in a long time. And by that merit alone, I've kind of got a soft spot for it. Like, I didn't enjoy the episode, but like it felt like I was 10 watching a cartoon, which is always a good feeling to have. So essentially, if you're watching this brand new, it's probably going to be shit, but if you're watching it with nostalgia goggles, it's great.
Yeah.
Have you got the next episode queued up, Rick?
Pretty close. Yeah, I've got it available. I might be a third of a second behind as it loads, but
no, that's fine. I haven't pressed play yet. I'm just basically, let's find out if we get the same fuzzies from the reboot. We're going for Series 1, Episode 2, Danger at Sea Level for the modern Danger Mouse.
Yeah, this is after they changed the voice actor to Richard Alexander because David Jason's getting on a bit.
I thought his name was Alexander Armstrong.
Oh, absolutely, Alexander Armstrong. Who's Richard Alexander? Is he a fucking car salesman?
I haven't got a clue who you're on about, mate. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck's he going? Is his real name Richard Alexander Armstrong? I've never heard him called Richard Alexander Armstrong. What the fuck?
I might be fucking conflating him with Richard Osman.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? That is his co-host on Thing. I'm gonna you count us in.
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and go. And I'm playing. There we are.
Oh, I don't like the new logo.
Okay, so the new credits evoke the old ones to a generic degree. He's got more gadgets now, it seems.
I mean, that's fair. I like how they haven't changed the theme overly.
Yeah.
They've just given it a bit of an update. They've not changed the lyrics or anything.
They even have the old bomb.
They do. If I type Richard Alexander into Google, it's a British actor, but it tells me a bunch of things he's been in, and I've not heard of any of them. He was in the University of Bradford, so maybe you fucking saw his picture there or something.
Possible.
I'll be honest with you, I feel like Armstrong's performance is a bit... I don't know the word I'm looking for, but like it feels more action-y. It feels like he's more into it. Because when I'm listening to David Jason as Danger Mouse, I'm hearing David Jason.
Yeah. Armstrong is playing a part. Jason was being himself.
Yeah, that's exactly it. There you go. You're hitting the nail on the head. That's a bit of a dick move.
Yeah. It's also very possible that Alexander Armstrong was a fan when he was a kid.
I think he even said as much when he got cast.
Yeah, fair enough.
Potentially, I don't know. It's been a while. Also, I thought this fuck was a mole, but he just said he's a hamster.
I thought he was a mole as well. Ah, they've now got a hologram for Colonel K.
That makes sense. What the fuck?
Captain Pete's Funtime Pier.
Do you see the crippled seagull?
Yep.
100 years since the last safety checks. That's fucking great.
And they're celebrating it as well.
I fucking hate cruises. I hate the concept. It's such a lazy way of travelling the world.
Yeah, being trapped on a boat.
Oh, and Danger Mouse agrees. Great.
Oh, and all he's doing is playing on his Game Boy.
That's the fucking problem, innit?
Yeah.
Like, the only proper holiday I've had in my life is that trip to Japan, right?
Yeah.
I didn't take my video game console with me. I'm not fucking touching this thing. Bit of a mistake, because I was bored as shit at night time. But the only time I had my phone and used my phone was on the flights.
Yeah.
Because they told me I could, because I was under the impression that I wouldn't be allowed to before I went. But then I went and they were like, oh, just put your phone in airplane mode, it's fine.
Yeah.
What is this weird fucking creep? What is it with this game? Fuck. This show and using weird fucking amalgamates.
I don't know. Lucky guess, Colonel.
Oh, it was a mime, nothing lost.
The kids think it's great, yeah.
Oh, I've seen enough hentai to know what's going on there. Oh, wow. I wonder if that was on purpose.
Tentacle toilet monsters, no.
Spam chops. He sounds like an old Italian man now.
Yeah.
Less evil Cockney, more typical mob boss. Oh, that's a dig at YouTube.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Danger mackerel.
That's great. Oh, he's a bit shit, isn't he? Oh.
Yeah, he got ate by a whale.
That's a fucking British gag.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how the Queen's a corgi.
Yeah, the Queen is a corgi, it's great.
That's a good gag.
I think you might actually meet her at some point in this series.
Great. Go fuck yourself, old man.
And the good thing about the Queen being immortal is it'll be the same Queen in the previous series as well.
Did we see the Queen in the previous series?
I don't know.
I don't think we did. Okay, the eye patch appears to be actually useful as a tech tool now, as opposed to just being a gag.
Yeah, it's a scouter.
Oh, DM, what's his power level? Oh, is that his name's Stiletto, I'm guessing?
Yeah, the mob goon is Stiletto. The Sea Barone guy.
The Spaniard.
Mm-hmm.
They're a bit all over the bloody place with his accent.
Yep.
Seems to depend whichever sentence is currently being said depends on what nationality he's taking the piss out of.
Absolute. Hammerhead Prawnopus.
Why would you put the prawn in there? Hammerhead shark octopus, I get, but prawn?
I think it's just to be more of a mutant.
I guess so, but it's a bit shit.
Yep.
Dude, this is some General Grievous shit. What the fuck was that? Something in my house is breaking.
Oh. Oh boy.
Actually, my walls are fucking super thin, so might not even be my house. It might be one of the ones either side of me. Sorry, I got distracted by the houses falling apart, guys. Apologies. Now I have to leave the noise in so people will know I'm not crazy.
Inflatable danger trunks. It looks like 80s parachute pants.
You're not even wrong. Yep, he's definitely a hamster now.
Looks like it.
What the fuck is that accent meant to be?
Man, I think he's gone kinda back to Cockney.
Oi, mate, give us some water!
Danger sub, headed this way!
You fucking went Schwarzenegger with it for some reason.
Danger sub, headed this way!
No!
No!
You know, he's never made that fucking noise, but everyone does it.
I know, right? Everyone does it, yeah.
Dude, you could totally make like a Crash Bandicoot-esque game out of Danger Mouse.
Probably.
I don't know, he's all over the place and all.
You know what? After this, I will be searching to see if there is a Danger Mouse game.
I don't think there is. Like, it feels like if there was, it'd be on the DS or a Game Boy.
Yeah. Why has the shark got big old lips?
I wasn't even paying attention, I was thinking of the Game Boy. I missed the Game Boy. Look
He's
at
an
that!
amphibian! Why does he need an escape pod?
Fuck friendship, the world shouldn't end. This is rather dire. You cannot play a game like that.
I know, right?
It bugs me because everyone... It's a plot point in loads of kids' shows, and that is, if we work together, we'll beat it. And it's like, sure, that's fine, I get that, but you can't fucking have two people on one controller.
Mm-hmm.
Bollocks.
Fuck off.
That would be the coolest but shittest gimmick of a video... Congratulations, you beat the video game, it's now an action figure.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, great, that's just what I wanted. It'd be a cool gimmick once, and if the video game was very shit. What?
Ah, the Ambiginator.
This feels like it was animated by the same crew that did Teen Titans Go.
Probably not.
Well, that's cute.
Aw. Oh, Danger Mouse with Penfold's glasses and Penfold with Danger Mouse's eye patch.
You know what? I hadn't even noticed.
I'm not scratching your bottom for you, Penfold.
Oh, he got the...
He's going to burp out
Of course.
Danger Haddock or whatever his name.
And now he's going to eat them? No? Okay.
Oh, he just belly flops them.
Who's that talking? Because I recognise that voice. Stephen Fry was in that.
He might be Baron Greenback.
That's actually disappointing because I respect Stephen Fry quite a bit, and it's depressing to think that he was all over the place with his voice acting.
I mean, he's also Pocoyo.
Pocoyo? Oh, yeah, fuck.
Oh,
yeah. But I've never watched that because it's literally a show for babies.
Yeah, a show for babies where the main character just aggressively dabs whenever something good happens.
That's fucking great. I remember in Little Big Planet 2, where the villain was played by Hugh Laurie and the narrator was Stephen Fry, and I just melted for like 5 minutes. I was just like, oh, they're back together, sort of, but not really.
I had the Vita version of Little Big Planet and I never played it. It just came with my pre-owned Vita when I bought it.
It's one of those games, Little Big Planet, that seems to be very, very hardcore Marmite, in that people either adore the shit out of it or just like, it's trash. I'm on the trash side of things. I don't think it's a good game. Like, I get the concept. It's kind of neat, but it's not for me.
Yeah, it's like Mario Maker before Mario Maker, like a create your own course extravaganza where you can dress up your potato lad as Sephiroth for an extra £2.
That's where the problem comes in. Is like they got hyper aggressive with the DLC near the end. They were like, we could fucking milk this, and I don't even blame people for milking stuff, especially in the format of like, hey, if you give us $1, you can dress your things up like the Avengers. That's not as egregious as loot boxes or RNG-based purchases, but it's still kind of scummy.
Then again, like, individual purchases are also a bit scummy. Like, have you looked at Dead or Alive?
Okay.
There used to be a £10 upgrade to get the bonus disc that had, like, 15 more costumes, and now it's, like, $2.50 per costume.
Okay, here's the thing, is I've never cared about Dead or Alive, but I remember the controversy that was the last Dead or Alive game where there was 275 pieces of DLC at $5 a pop, and they were all costumes.
Yep.
But at the same time, fuck you, you're clearly a creepy anime weeaboo if you're paying for that shit.
Oh yeah, there's the completionist aspect as well. So like, you see these costumes, you can see the previews on them. So it's like, do you cave to reason and not buy it, or do you cave to the completionist and catch them all?
But you see, I'd argue that's not completionist thinking, but on the same side of things, it is quite clearly targeting people who have some forms of mental illnesses, shall we say. Like, nothing quite as debilitating as, like, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but like, it's not severe mental illness, but everyone's got those mental tics inside them that's like, I want the thing.
Like, there's probably a lampoon of itself, but there's a story of someone who went homeless so they could simp for some Twitch streamer.
That's like when a nice guy snaps. No, that's not even the right way, because nice guys are a different thing, but it's always sad to see, because it's quite clearly someone who is lonely.
Yeah, it's a nice guy in a death spiral rather than a nice guy going postal.
Here's why I don't like using the term nice guy, because nice guy is a very certain specific type of person. It's the type of person who will go up to a girl, buy them a drink, and be like, cool, you now have to sleep with me because I bought you a drink. And it's like, no, that's not how the world works.
Yeah, they insert kindness coins and expect sex to fall out.
And then when they don't get the sex, they go, fine, I didn't like you anyway. And it really sucks. It's really disgusting behaviour, and it makes me physically cringe whenever you hear stories which are 100% true, because you know people who act like that. You tell that person to stay away from you and your significant others.
Never come near me or my son ever again.
But yeah, shall we go get slightly back on track, shall we? What did you think of the new Danger Mouse?
Okay, so I think we brought it up during the episode, but I actually do really dig Alexander Armstrong's voice for it. The villains were a bit all over the place with the voices, as we also brought up, but I think they pretty much nailed the feel of bullshit Baron Greenback plots, and they seem to have pretty much nailed the feel of bullshit plots and bullshit solutions to said plot, while also juggling Penfold's feelings. I don't think it was quite as much of a thing in the original series, but it might have been like after episode 2.
But here's the thing though, the original series was the 80s, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, men don't have feelings. That's what the 80s
well,
was.
Except Penfold. Like, even in the episode that we watched, episode 2, he was already like playing saxophone, and DM had like some fluff in his ears so he didn't have to listen to it. So he was tolerating it, but on his own terms.
But that's not the person displaying emotions. That's a skill or talent that the manly man has made. If you're not a manly man in the 80s, fucking you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
That's so sad. I can't believe it's only been like 40 years. It's like fuck. It turned into bloody Disturbed there. Oh. But no, when we go back to 80s and 90s cartoons, they are not Steven Universe. You are not allowed to be emotional as a man character. And if you are emotional as a man character, you will get ridiculed in the media for being emotional.
Whereas with Steven Universe, one of the drinking games is whenever a character cries, take a shot, and at the end of the season, go for your liver pumping.
Here's a new drinking game for all of you. Take a shot every time you hear Rick mention that fact.
Yeah.
Okay, if I had a nickel for every time Rick mentioned it, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that he did it twice.
Yeah, but once of it was off. Was once of it off stream?
It was on stream when I was talking about Greg, and I said how Greg, it's nice to see a male character show a bit of emotion, and then you went on. That was in the very first episode, Rick.
Shit the bed. Okay, well, that was a month ago. Okay.
Don't date the episode!
I'm not taking the episode out for dinner, it's fine.
Oh, very good. But yeah, we're definitely... Go on, sorry.
What I was going to say, what did you think of it?
I think it was better in almost every way.
Okay, yeah, so the animation definitely was cleaner, as you'd expect.
Again, no, I think it goes back to the sort of, if you've watched old school Danger Mouse, it will warp your perspective, because old school Danger Mouse was something I'd used to watch when going to bed, which means I didn't take a lot of it on board. It was just background noise.
I feel you.
So it's one of those weird things. It was on the same time slot as Gadget Boy. Gadget Boy? Is that what it was called? It was
Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, it was a weird one where Inspector Gadget was a kid for some reason.
Oh, okay, so there was Gadget Boy. I think Gadget Boy and Heather.
Yeah.
He's so much stronger than the rest because his gadgets work the best.
I haven't got a clue what, and I just remember it was back to back.
Mm-hmm.
I used to cheekily stay up till 10 o'clock at night as well, because Cartoon Network used to air a show called Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and now I should not have been watching that. But yeah, back when Cartoon Network had like a fucking watershed mark, and it's like this isn't adult, but kids probably shouldn't watch it.
I think it was before they brought out Adult Swim, and when Adult Swim was actually for adults.
Very potentially, but I'd love to watch some Space Ghost episodes. I remember there's only one episode I remember clearly, and that's the one with Mark Hamill on it.
Well, now,
okay. Yeah, it was good shit. It was good shit. It was such a good concept. It was just an interview show, but with a cartoon host.
Yeah, absolutely.
But obviously, this was the 90s. I think it would have been the 90s. Yeah, definitely. So the technology to have a human character interact with a cartoon character was probably a bit fucky at best.
I mean, it was around the time of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which was, I think it was the first combined, fully animated / live action movie.
But here's
like you had things that appearing in one form or the other before, like Song of the South, but
here's where the problem lies, Rick, in that what you just described was a movie. And back in this time frame, TV shows were seen as lesser than movies and therefore did not get the budget they do nowadays.
Oh, absolutely. Well, even now, it's pretty much the same ratio. It's just that the movie budget is so ridiculously colossal, and the TV show budget is comparatively, it might be the same ratio, but still, like, multi-millions.
Well, here's the thing as well, is that Disney Plus, with that being released, they've decided to get in the TV show game to keep people subscribing, basically, which means we've already seen it with WandaVision, and we're probably going to see it with Falcon and Winter Soldier, in that production values are through the fucking roof nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, fuck, even Netflix Marvel stuff was great. It felt like watching hour-long films as opposed to 10 episodes.
I've watched a grand total of one Netflix Marvel episode, and it was the first Daredevil episode.
That is a shame. Daredevil was definitely the strongest Netflix Marvel thing they did, and my days, when I heard the rumour, and then I got soft confirmation of the guy who played Daredevil appearing in Spider-Man 3, I was literally like, good, that motherfucker earned it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see anyone else as Daredevil right now. Fuck off, Matt, I don't care about 14. I'm sorry, that was mean. He doesn't listen to this shit, it doesn't matter, we're good.
I legitimately thought you were talking about Matt Murdock.
I don't think he can play video games.
Okay, tying that together, I actually saw a video article that someone made about how they can play 14 while visually impaired.
That's pretty cool, go on.
By all the sound, I think they called it didactic sound cues, and they brought out one of the earlier dungeons as an example, using the snow and how the footprints sound whether you're running, walking, or landing on the snow.
Okay.
As to what's happening.
That's pretty interesting, but I can't imagine that's universal even within the same game.
Oh, absolutely not. But they also brought out a bunch of other things, like how certain sound effects always play when certain things happen. So, like, your casters always make the same sound, and your healers always make the same sound.
Like, that's all well and good, but then how does that help you avoid AoEs?
It don't.
There's the fundamental problem. You're still gonna get fucked.
You know when you're being targeted, but I think the stack marker is the actual end of that.
But you used ARR as an example, and there are no stack markers in ARR.
No, I think it's at the very earliest, it's the very end of Heaven's Ward Road to Stormblood.
I don't remember seeing a stack marker until Stormblood because people yelled at me for it. I've got to tell this story because I've not told it on the podcast, but I've told it to everyone who'll fucking listen. Alright, I play 14. Rick plays 14. I got to Stormblood. I got to the level, I want to say it was Doman Castle, in fact. It's a pretty late Stormblood story dungeon, and I got yelled at because I wasn't standing in the stacks. They say stack, 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 and I'm like, I don't understand, because until that point, the only time I'd heard the word stack was when playing fucking MOBAs, and you're building your stacks on your items, and it's just like, I don't know what that means, guys, and then I got ridiculed, and it's like, cool, this is why new players hate MMOs.
Yeah, absolutely. Similarly, I was introduced to the word during a class quest, and the idea was you had to stack with the NPC, and the guide said stack with the NPC, and I'm like, cool, what the hell does this mean? So I tried the mission another couple of times, still didn't know what it meant. So I watched a goddamn video guide and saw standing in this perspective AoE completely counterintuitively. I'm like, oh!
Yeah, because up until that point, every time there's a marker on someone or a marker on the ground, it's stay the fuck away from that, that's murder zone.
Yeah, get out of the kiddie pool, don't paddle.
But yeah, I think that's enough bitching about 14. Yeah, we'll hopefully do more of these retrospective comparisons of things that have had reboots down the line. Probably as bonus episodes as opposed to mainline episodes, but, you know.
I think extra credit is exactly where this kind of thing belongs, unless it becomes so popular that we kind of have to keep doing it all the time.
That goes without saying. If anything blows up, guess what? That's a new formula for the podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, as much as we're doing this mostly for fun, as you can probably tell with our first 4 videos, like, we've got less than 10 views on most of them. Like, we're not doing it with the purpose of exploiting this for cash, but if we can, we will. Yeah.
And with this one, both episodes were available on the British flicks of the net. So if you can't see them on your version locally, then perhaps employ a VPN. No, employ a VPN for your legitimate version of your own flicks of the net.
Or your half idly.
Yeah, well,
we're not condoning that. Don't worry about it. Pretend I didn't say anything. I just like pirates, that's why I said that.
Yeah, topical, because Danger Mouse is kind of half-dressed as one.
But if you looked at Danger Mouse's design, if he wasn't all white, he has a very vanilla look.
Yeah, he does, yeah. Like, if he wasn't smiling, you'd think he was the baddie.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, that seems like a pretty natural stopping point to me. Right, all that's left to say really is goodbye, guys. We do enjoy hosting you for our nonsense reviews.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see you again